Hey y'all, good evening. Michelle Raza here with the Finding Yourself Book Club. And today I'm super excited to bring you guys a new book that we're going to discuss. We're going to change gears a little bit. I know we've been talking about emotional maturity and Lindsay Gibson's works, Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents. We're going to change gears just a little bit, and we're going to spend the next few days, weeks, months, however long it takes me to record this, talking about love. So we're going to go over John Gottman's work, What Makes Love Last. I don't think I'll be able to do the same as I have before with Lindsay Gibson's works. So Gottman has a different style. Every author has a different style. Gibson had exercises. She also had stories, which I skipped a lot of the stories. And then, of course, she had the tips. And so I spent a lot of my time reading to you guys the tips about what you should do, what you shouldn't do, learning to identify emotionally immature people, etc. So for Gottman's work, today we're going to talk about the introduction. I'm just going to summarize it for you. Please do pick up your own copy, What Makes Love Last. He has a lot of good works, and they're all amazing. They do all come out of, and I can't even see myself right now, so I'm going to put on my old lady glasses. They do all come out of the Love Lab. So he has a laboratory. It's like a studio apartment where he has couples come in and basically live their life for a weekend. And during that time, they are they're hooked up to monitors, and their stress levels are measured. They pee into a cup. I don't know if they draw blood. I don't think they draw blood, but everything short of drawing blood. I mean, they're being measured and studied. There's a bunch of cameras. And then they're told to act normal. So couples, they are kind of on their best behavior in the lab, but they do fight, and they prompt fights. Like, they ask them to go ahead and have a fight within that time and discuss their issues. And so it's the difference between Gottman and other writers, and why I'm so in love with him, is because it's science-based. And so they've studied thousands of couples. I believe Gottman has failed in marriage twice before. He's on his third marriage, and this is the only one that's been successful. And it coincides with the research that he's done into love and relationships and what makes relationships successful or not successful. So before we dive in, let me give you the quick plug for our site, www.findingyourselfsatx.com. Please check us out. Take our life balance questionnaire. We are in the process of trying to make that a little bit more dynamic for you. Right now it's like PDF, print it, do your best, and then send it back to us. First consult is always free. And without further ado, I'll dive in a little bit into the introduction. And like I said, I can't really do the same for this one, so do pick up your own copy, and we'll talk chapter by chapter, hopefully give you some good tips on how to make your own relationships last, love last, and take it from there. So he breaks it down. So in addition to the Love Lab, right? That's where they study couples and how they were able to find the results that a lot of them are counterintuitive. The other thing he says, and I don't think it's in this book, it's in another one of his books, is how a lot of times the advice that you get, so therapy is very effective. Couples therapy is one of the types of therapy that is not very effective. And so a lot of times what you're getting from the therapist is anecdotal wisdom, unless they've been trained, right, by the Gottman Institute, which you can go to their site, you can find them. There's Gottman trained therapists, which it's all research-based, right? But that therapy fails quite often. And so his scientific approach is really the difference between success and failure. But anyway, in this book, he breaks it down into very, very simple reasons for why love lasts or doesn't last. And it's broken out, and we'll go chapter by chapter into what all of this means, but it's broken out into two categories, trust and betrayal. So love will last and be able to overcome almost anything as long as you have trust. And love will break down at the moment that you have betrayal. And so the first thing that people think about when you talk about these things is cheating, right? Betrayal means cheating. And that's right. But if you expand the definition of cheating to not just mean having sexual relations with somebody else, it could mean giving your work all the time and energy and not leaving any time and energy for your family or for your romantic partner. It could also mean giving your family all the time and energy, like your children, and not leaving any energy for your romantic partner. It could mean giving your extended family, or like your parents, your siblings, giving them all of your time and energy and not giving it to your romantic partner. So really anything that puts your partner second, by this definition, is considered a betrayal. So it's really, really interesting stuff. He talks a lot about the love lab and couples, how they prompt them to fight. They do have fights in the love lab, and they are toned down compared to what they would be at home, for sure. But there's couples that fight and they're miserable, and so that's not healthy. Couples that stay together anyway, and that's not necessarily healthy, right? That stormy silence, that tension in the house where you know that people are upset with each other, but they haven't really worked through their issues or resolved them. That's not necessarily healthy. And one of the things that he also talks about is taking your problems from your relationship to another relationship. So unless you learn how to be a better partner and take accountability for the mistakes that you've made in your own relationship, all you'll end up doing is taking these problems to your next one. And so that, I think, for me was very interesting, right? Because even though it's very easy after you failed at love or failed at marriage to point blame and fingers at your partner, he talks a lot about being introspective and being able to change the way you are in order to find a healthier relationship and develop a better relationship with your next partner. So all really, really good stuff. I will read just a little piece of this for you guys. So I always strive to increase the understanding of long-term relationships and to help couples navigate their way to happier and healthier romance. Still, I know that not all relationships can or should survive betrayal. Even when a long-term partnership ends for good reason, the shattered faith in love can be devastating. The loss must be acknowledged and confronted before moving on. If you are recovering from a breakup, the findings and exercises in the pages ahead may offer a deeper understanding of what went wrong and help prepare you to try again with somebody new. Charting a way forward after a deep wound is just as important as learning to make a relationship work. If your last relationship failed, you may fear trusting someone again, but this wariness can leave you vulnerable to lifelong and profound loneliness. This isolation has not only serious psychological repercussions, but physical ones as well. By fine-tuning your radar for deception, this book can help you develop the courage, strength, and wisdom to search for a trustworthy partner. Throughout my career, I have met skeptics who do not believe that sensors, computers, video cameras, and other lab equipment can assess something as mysterious and seemingly indefinable as love. Of course, scientists cannot create a love potion or a solution to all relationship woes. But I can offer advice founded on objective data rather than unproven theory or just the subjective experience of a particular therapist. The pages that follow offer the fruit of my research. They explain why romances fail for reasons that seem as elusive as love itself. I hope you'll use my findings to protect a thriving relationship or to rescue one already in danger. So that's it. I'm super excited about this book. It's amazing. I've read a lot of Gottman's works. He goes from, relationships, which is the bread and butter of his research, romantic relationships to parenting relationships. So please pick up your copy. You can find them. I forgot the website exactly, but you can search Google for Gottman Institute. You can sign up for their email. They also have a podcast called Small Things Often, which is like 5 minutes a day of just the tips that he provides within these books, but just really chunked out to small pieces. As with the works that I talked about with Lindsay Gibson, Lindsay actually contacted me, which was so badass, but I don't get anything from her. I don't know her personally. I want to be respectful of people's copyrights. I don't know John Gottman. I wish I did. Maybe he'll contact me too. So this is all really based on just my own research and stuff that I found super duper helpful that I want to share with you guys because I think it will help you. And I hope you like it. Please, if you've subscribed because you are into the emotionally immature parent thing, hang on because I am going to go back to it. And if this is new to you and you're just about romance and stuff like that, please do go check out the other playlist because that is good information as well. Can't hurt. So I will try to record more. I'm really trying hard to record more. So hopefully see you guys tomorrow and we will dive straight into chapter 1 on this. Thanks, y'all.